Hi guys, what's going on and welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video we are going to discuss the current state of Bitcoin and the current state of Ethereum. We are going to look at trade setups for the both of them, as I think both of them are looking very interesting. Yesterday we saw some bullish news about the SEC losing its case against Grayscale, and that was the cause of this pump to the upside yesterday. Now, a lot of people are wondering if this is the bottom. And there's a few things that we can say about this. I think personally you always have to be extremely careful with looking to long or short a specific news-driven move. As we have seen, for example, on XRP, which pumped over 100% after it won its case against the SEC, that whole pump already got retraced. And I think, especially right now with Bitcoin, we also have to be a little bit careful. That doesn't necessarily mean that we cannot continue higher from here. I'm only saying that we have to be a little bit careful because a lot of people are looking at this move as it is extremely bullish. But personally, I think we are coming into a critical support and resistance area. If I'm going to mark out this support and resistance area over here, I'm going to extend it a little bit to the downside. I think soon we are going to run into a critical support and resistance area. Over here, we can see resistance multiple times, resistance, 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 and then afterwards it turned into support and support, and then it turned into resistance twice as well. Before we dropped off, we can see that we found some support over here as well, and then we dropped off, right? So definitely a critical support and resistance area, not an area where you want to become bullish. Now, I think everyone that is looking to long the retrace has only one area where they can put their stops, which is below this low over here. And I think that low will provide a lot of liquidity. I'm not saying that we are going to go for that low, but I'm saying that we have to keep in mind the possibility that this move is a fake out, that we are going to sweep the liquidity beneath this low, beneath this low, and beneath this low before we are going to get a real pump to the upside. We can see that Bitcoin was simply ranging over here, and if we get back inside of this range, there's a decent possibility that we are going to retest the range low. I think a scenario that we have to take into our minds is that we may go for that liquidity, like I said, beneath these lows, find support around the range low. If this happens, everyone will turn extremely bearish once again, expecting lower prices because they see the whole pump being retraced, but they will become bearish near strong support. That would be an ideal moment to squeeze all of those late shorts, to squeeze all of those late panic sellers and start a proper run to the upside from here. Okay, definitely something to keep your eye on. Okay, now there's also the possibility where we are going to form a higher low and take off from there. Now, if we are going to zoom in yesterday's price action, we can see that over here, we created a big hour 4 fair value gap, a bullish one, right? We have this demand candle, this OB over here, followed by this impulsive candle to the upside, followed by another green candle to the upside, leaving behind a bullish hour 4 fair value gap. Now, if we are going to take the EQ level of the fair value gap like this, and if I'm going to mark out this EQ level over here, I can see that this EQ level is aligning with our previous range high. So we're going to mark out our previous range high like this. We can see that at 50% level, so our 4 FUG EQ level over here is aligning perfectly with our previous range high. And that is definitely something to take into account, to keep our eyes on for a potential area where we might bounce. Personally, the only area where I'm interested in potential longs for Bitcoin is the retest of this previous range high, is the retest of this hour 4 EQ level. If we find support over here, we are going to continue higher. Am I going to set limits over here? No. Excuse me. And I will exactly explain to you guys why I'm not going to set limits. Because if I want to set limits over here, how am I going to cover my stop loss? Let's say I start my limit at the top of the range. I have to cover my stop loss with this specific low over here. Now that is 3.5% away. Let's say my target is this buy side liquidity over here, that's only an RR of 2.6. Now, the RR is decent. The problem is, like I just explained, is that everyone is looking to place their stop loss beneath the low over here, which provides a lot of liquidity. So personally, I'm thinking there's a decent possibility that we are going to take out that liquidity. Now, if we do, I do not want to get caught up in a premature long position over here. So I would rather set my limits over here around the range high, which I am going to do right now live. So I've set my alerts, I mean not my limits, but I've set my alerts. I'm going to wait for the price to retrace into this area of support. If I can see that the price is holding, if I see some kind of a low time frame market structure shift to the upside again, like I've been drawing over here, I will long it towards this buy side, and this buy side, and potentially even higher. That's my plan right now for the Bitcoin price. I will patiently wait for either a pullback or I will wait for higher prices to look for shorts. Now, if we are going to look a little bit more locally on the 15-minute time frame over here, we can see that Bitcoin has been slowly grinding to the downside. My area of interest for potential shorts more locally is two different areas. We have this supply area over here, but personally I'm a little bit more interested in the supply area above, which is this entire supply area over here. Why? Because I believe that a lot of people will be looking to short this M15 fair value gap, which is aligning right below the supply. Where do you think they're going to put their stops? They're going to put their stops above this high. This is the most obvious short play right now. Now, this high will provide a lot of liquidity. That liquidity is beautifully aligning with that other supply area that I just marked out. So this high is making up for a beautiful inducement to look for shorts when we tap into the supply over here. So personally, once again, going to set my alerts above this high. If we sweep it, if I see a bearish kind of reaction from the supply area over here, I will enter a short targeting the previous range high that I just explained to you guys. Okay, both a high time frame and low time frame plan for Bitcoin. Now let's continue with Ethereum, because we can see that Ethereum also has been breaking out of its range. The range, like I explained in Monday's video, is not as clean as the range on Bitcoin, but yet it's still a range. And if we are going to see a successful auction of this range over here, we do not want to fall back within this range. So same as for Bitcoin, I do still think that this hour 4 fair value gap is a big draw on liquidity on Ethereum, and you can see that over here we slightly front run it, so I kind of expect it to still get taken out, but if we want to take it out, we need to find some kind of support around the previous range high. If we fall back inside of this range, there's a decent possibility, just like for Bitcoin, that we're going to visit the range low over here. Be very careful. Now, Ethereum is not looking as strong as Bitcoin, but still, I'm going to set my alerts over here at around the range high. There is a possibility in which Ethereum is going to retest its range high, but Bitcoin isn't. Like I said, Ethereum is not as strong as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is already trading over here compared to its range high. So there's a possibility we're going to retest the range high, and my alerts on Ethereum are going to get triggered, but then my alerts on Bitcoin aren't going to get triggered. Now, in that case, once again, I will patiently wait for Ethereum to pull back into this previous range high, find support. If I can see that it finds support, I will long it towards this hour 4 fair value gap over here. Okay, now if we are going to check the EMA confluence for Ethereum on the 4-hourly time frame, we can see that the 100 EMA on the 4-hourly time frame, which is an extremely important EMA, is perfectly aligning with that previous range high. Okay, the 200 EMA and the 200 moving average are perfectly aligning with that hour 4 fair value gap that I just marked out, which is a potential area of interest to look for swing shorts. If we are going to tap into this hour 4 fair value gap, I'm going to set my alerts over here. I'm going to wait for my alerts to get triggered. If I see signs of weakness, if I see signs of a rejection, I will short it once again, and I will target this liquidity over here beneath this low. Why do I target liquidity? Because everyone that is looking to long this pullback over here, where do you think they're going to put their stops? Exactly, they're going to put their stops beneath this low. And if everyone is looking to put their stops at the exact same area, that usually acts as a magnet for the Bitcoin or Ethereum price. Very interesting times ahead. I've set my alerts. I've explained my trading ideas for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Do keep in mind that the month is coming to an end and that we have the monthly transition periods coming up, so it's not the best time to trade. I do think that we see a lot of volatility returning back into the markets in September since summer is over, so I can't wait for that. If you guys have any questions after watching today's YouTube video, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, make sure to smash out the like button and join the free Discord. Link can be found in the description. This video has been sponsored by Prime XPT. Also, that affiliate link can be found in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on Friday's video. Ciao, ciao.